The ISS is, I would say, a very critical stepping stone in human exploration beyond low Earth orbit. I'm NASA astronaut Mike Barratt, pilot of the Crew-8 mission to the International Space Station. I was born in Vancouver, Washington, in the southwest part of the state. Grew up around the city of Camas, a very small town in a farming community. And we had about 80 acres or so. We raised sheep and cattle, and it was a really great upbringing. There was plenty of the natural world around us to really be fascinating. And I had interest sparked in astronomy and oceanography and photography. I built telescopes in high school, and I had this commanding dark sky out there. It was really quite magnificent. And I went through these phases of only wanting to be an oceanographer or only wanting to be an astronomer. And all this with the backdrop of always having to fix things and get up and take care of animals and a certain amount of discipline, which I probably didn't appreciate so much at the time, but I certainly do now. The combination of those demands for living and an interest in natural sciences, I think, partly what led me to where I am today. I came to Johnson Space Center in 1991, and I've never left, except when I left the planet a couple times. But I spent 9 years as a NASA flight surgeon, and I would say that is absolutely one of the dream jobs at NASA. I think my passion is the human in space, how we adapt, how we prepare for space, how we rehab when we come back, and how our physiology changes. And so that job allows you to dabble in all of those things and be among the last of the people who see the crew before they launch, the first who see them when they land, and to talk to them every day. That was an amazing experience. And I was very, very lucky to transition to the astronaut corps in the year 2000. The last time I was on the International Space Station was in 2011. I was fortunate to fly the last flight of the Space Shuttle Discovery, and she was a magnificent station at the time. And we actually put the Permanent Multipurpose Module into place, and we kind of considered the station complete at that time. And again, it was not small. Since that time, she's actually grown quite a bit. So what I expect to find is the core of the station that I left, that I loved so much, that I spent over 200 days on, plus some new modules, some new research capabilities, and I think as important as anything, new docking ports for new generation spacecraft. What I remember most fondly from my first mission was looking out the window and just hanging out with my shipmates at the galley table at the end of a long workday. My personal goal is really to see my crew become part of it, help build it, and have us all come down so much better than we were. If we do that and we've executed our mission and we're fatigued, tired, but giddy with success, that's what I'm looking for.
Subscribe for more space.